Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, everyone. We're just going to give an extra minute for more people to join the webinar. So give us a minute and we'll be right back. But thank you
Okay,
all.
okay.
It's a pleasure to have you all on board. Very informative.
That's fine.
Yeah. So we'll start the event proper. Thank you very much.
Take charge of your HR process with My Salary. Payroll automation, leave management, tax and pension remittance, time tracking, and productivity improvement just got way easier with My Salary. Guess what? You get to do all this and more for free. Embrace the new world of work. Visit www.mysalary.com to sign up and onboard your employees. Do more with My Salary. Get started today. Take charge of your HR process with My Salary. Payroll automation, leave management, tax and pension remittance, time tracking, and productivity improvement just got way easier with My Salary. Guess what? You get to do all this and more for free. Embrace the new world of work. Visit www.mysalary.com to sign up and onboard your employees. Do more with My Salary. Get started today. Take charge of your HR process with My Salary. Payroll automation, leave management, tax and pension remittance, time tracking, and productivity improvement just got way easier with My Salary. Guess what? You get to do all this and more for free. Embrace the new world of work. Visit www.mysalary.com to sign up and onboard your employees. Do more with My Salary. Get started today. Take charge of your HR process with My Salary. Payroll automation.
For joining us. I can see a number of people who have joined. It's a pleasure to have you all. Today about we're planning basically discussing how CEOs, HR managers, and business owners can for. Our goal is to help HR managers and business owners to year 2024. Now, most people are already, so it's something already in people's minds. We are thinking about all the things we did through the year, what didn't work. We are considering a lot as business owners, what we use for our employees, different things we tried through the year, and what we can take into the new year, what we can improve upon, and what we can drop, discuss today. And I hope you have as we have a fantastic for you. So today we have two speakers, James Olorun Shebi, and we have Mrs. Itozi. Mrs. Ijoma Itozi. Sorry if I see. These are the two for today.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me as well? Yes, I can hear you loud and
I
clear.
can I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. So who James is? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, there was a technical glitch there. Background on who James is. He is a serial manager and business owner. He's current managing director of Joan Cross Albright Levine HR Services Limited, Casar Finance, and with a wealth of leadership experience, companies, HR tech, and finance enterprises through transformative journeys. He is passionate about leveraging technology, optimizing HR financial landscape. James invites you to webinar. So let's explore opportunities to digital transformation and HR excellence. Hi, James, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm trusting that you can hear me as well, right?
Yes,
Awesome.
I, Miss EJ.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I just want to give a brief background. Ms. Ijoma is the lead consultant at Intensive Expertise to Human Resource Management with a master's in business um, focus in HR as in French. She is dedicated to continuous learning with over a decade in contact center management and business improvement management professional. Ijoma has facilitated impactful training and private sectors, covering topics such as customer and business improvements. She is certified as a CMB trainer and a PHRI professional. She is also talents in various voiceover projects. Ijoma is fantastic as we take this conversation forward. So let's get into it. So first, I have certain questions to discuss, and I'm going to throw this one out to both speakers. Um, Let me. What were your most significant lessons learned from 2023 in your
Okay, thank you, Wale. This year,
basically what
okay, can you hear me? Okay. Oh, thank you, Mr. Wale. Yes, 2023 has been a learning year for myself and the members of our team in Santos Consulting. Well, a whole lot of things stood out for us, but I'll just be mentioning that only.
hello?
Okay, so a whole lot of things stood out for us in the year 2023, and we've also learned both for myself and the members of my team in Santos Consult. We're able to learn having a balance between business needs, and I'm talking about grasping the delicate art of balancing the demands of businesses with the delicate needs of people. So we're talking about navigating complexities in governance process, which involve collaboration, empathy, and strategic finance, which eventually became a learning curve for both myself and the members of our team. Now, we also learned the importance of maintaining empathy in leadership as HR leaders and also industry leaders. We learned the importance of maintaining empathy in leadership and also adopting various work models that suits different organizations and culture. Because here we're dealing with various organizations organizations, tending to their HR needs and also consulting for them. So these are organizations from different sectors. So it was just tailor made for each of them. We also had, it's always been there, but the role of technology in HR operations and also achieving business goals. It's been there for a while now, but in the year 2023, it came as a front burner for us in Santos Consulting and for most of our clients. Then we also learned the importance of social listening. Okay, listening to our clients, prospective clients. What are they saying about the organization? What are they saying about candidates they're looking to get into the organization to work with them? Not just our clients and prospective clients. We're also talking about candidates that we sourced for these clients to work with. We also had to listen and had to continue that way till today. And in fact, we intend to continue that way and improve in that regards and whatever thing we get as from the social listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gemma. I think a key thing you mentioned, empathy. You mentioned how basically executives need to have empathy. Can you tell us a bit more about that? How can they imbibe that in their 2024?
Okay, so I could come in all aspects of the HR, talking about the recruitment processes and also talking about existing employees. Now, you agree with me that it's been rough for a whole lot of people, especially here in Nigeria since this year, especially since because fuel subsidy was taken. Now, we have to talk to organizations to see how they make the working conditions a lot more flexible, especially for those organizations that wouldn't want to overshoot their budget in terms of, trying to
Okay.
trying to maybe add some more money allowances in terms of transportation, or even some people call it subsidy bonus, just to help employees get to work and discharge their duties accordingly. Now, they have to put themselves in these employees' shoes. We're talking about the cost of living, the high cost of living. We're talking about the high cost in transportation. And we're talking about travel time to get to the organization to be able to work. Now, these organizations may want to consider using various work models, or rather adopting a new work model as against what they already have. For example, we're talking about the hybrid work model where we're making things a lot more flexible for employees so that they can be able to work from home some days and come into the office some days. That way, the cost of transportation would have reduced for them and they'll be able to save up money to do things for themselves individually and also for their families. In this country, Nigeria, we have a culture of family, and the family expects you to reach out to them financially from time to time. So now for the organizations to put themselves in these employees' shoes, to understand the pains, what they're passing through, and adopt an agile mindset to see how to, adopt some changes, move things around so that the employees will benefit and also the organization will be able to benefit as well. Thank
Okay, thanks there
you. Mhm.
about how companies can implement empathy in employees. Uh, Mr. James, can you?
Yes, absolutely. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. So what do you think? What's your own point of view? Um, Learned from 2023, and what insights we can take into 2024. The key lessons you learned.
Okay, thank you for that. I like the things that IJ mentioned, and those things are still very much with us. They've been around since return to work from COVID, and it's been getting a bit more interesting since then. Um, Considering that employees are still in that, they are still within that space where they are trying to find their footing, where the recent political economic dance is not very favorable for a lot of people's personal economies, and for companies as well. It has not been a joyride, depending on which industry they play in. For those who play in an industry that is known for wealth, like oil and gas, even for them, it has not been a joyous or a smooth ride, considering other global situations that have been evolving and where they sell their products. And for those who are in the market of finance, they've been experiencing a couple of disruptions here and there, where much of their customer base has been eroded by new financial solutions. And then for those in the human resource field, there has been a lot of exfiltration of the workforce, those who have been relocating to other climes, to other countries, and leaving those positions that these employees formerly occupied vacant. And then they've been having difficulty with finding the right fit. And even when you find the right fit, there's still the journey of the knowledge that the new employees have to fill in. Then there's also the issue of when you hire new people on their CV at the interview, because interviews are not as rigorous as it would be, but on the job, you get to see the amount of dexterity that your new hire has to offer in that role. But usually, whatever knowledge that new hire has, there is still the issue of the knowledge of your customer base, how best to approach them. And our customers, on the other hand, have also been very, very careful about their spendings, considering that they are also feeling the pressure, the heat of the economic dance that's been going on for a while now. And so they, in turn, are also trying to cut down on the cost of running business. And that also means that for those who provide human resource services to these organizations, you are not going to get the kind of revenue that you think you would get in 2023. You didn't get it in 2023, and you find yourself trying to find, okay, how do I improve this? How do we get more customers and all of that? And then when you reach out to these customers, you find that many of them are already collapsing roles that they previously had one person doing to become two people doing, to become roles that one person can do. So that now brings to the fore another issue, which is digital transformation, where organizations are now adopting more digital tools to be able to do the work that human beings used to be able to do, or to take the work of two people, collapse it into one, and ask that resource, that human person, hey, you have to be smarter, you have to be in tune with technology to be able to deliver on this your role faster than it used to be. So all of these factors have still been playing in 2023. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. But one thing is certain: you cannot, because of any of these unfavorable conditions, leave the market. You have to remain in the market. You have to add value. You have to keep offering more value, even if you're offering it at the same price you used to offer it, so that at the end of the day, you don't even totally lose the customer, which is a worse scenario than not having enough revenue from that customer. All right.
Okay, thank you much. That was fantastic. I think something you mentioned was the kind of digital tools you use, and how your strategies and work. Can you us talk a bit more about that, for like these digital tools influence you and your work?
Oh, yes. A good example would be organizations that provide financial advices or advisory to customers and insights to customers around business intelligence, around the area of finance. Those services use one person who is assigned to that customer. And that human person needs to be abreast and keep his or her fingers on the pulse of that industry to be able to sieve and filter and analyze and transform and look at things from a multidimensional approach and be able to tell that customer and say, hey, this is how you should. But all of that AI is now doing that. You feed that information into an artificial intelligence that is for that industry, and it can take that data, spin it around, and even offer you insights greater than what a human person can give to you. Then for those in services like in human resources, where HR has to, for example, be in touch with each employee, get to know what they like, what they don't like, what makes them tick. How do you know that you are losing this employee? And sometimes over time, HR might find themselves in a position where you are not having that engagement, that level of conversation, or where your personality gets in the way of getting the accurate information from each and every of these employees. But now digital tools are allowing them, from gamification, for example, where you pass a game to employees to get a feel of their perception about how they feel about their job, how they feel about their leadership, how they feel about their remuneration, how they feel about their future, even in the current job role that they occupy. Through gamification and through the adoption of AI systems, you can be able to tell without even having to engage them one-on-one anymore.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. James. I think you mentioned relates to that's something. It's a tool that has blown up really amongst many other tools. So we've mentioned some of these things, some of the significant lessons we've learned over the years. How have we been able to adapt business environments in 2023? Other industries plan for successfully for 2024, judging based. And the reason for this is it's been unpredictable to say the least. It's our companies found it hard to project what it would be like, and largely because including the elections, stability. There are a number of factors, and it was a standstill at the beginning of the year. And I remember it very vividly. So, yeah, we've had a lot of changes from currency to slight changes, even the smallest changes like changes, quality of life changes in the country. There was a time when things became so, I'll say, tough, and a lot of companies had to adjust to salary increments. So I just want to have an idea from your TV drama, how were you able to changes in 2023, and how do you think other businesses adapt same in 2024?
Okay. Thank you, Wale. For myself, what we did this year was to embrace an agile mindset. We embraced and had an agile mindset. So we watched the trends of things in the HR space, especially in the area of recruitment, work model, and economic benefits. And immediately we had to adjust to the changing business environment. Now, in the area of recruitment, we maintained the use of technologies to source and get the best suited candidates for the various roles that we advertised for on behalf of our clients. Okay. So we also helped in other various ways like streamlining the hurdles of reading through CVs one after the other during the shortlist. So we had the technology, we had the ATS do that for us. Now, another thing was in the area of recruitment. In the area of recruitment, we also had people not applying for these various roles that we put out. And I'll give you an example. We had a client that we handled recruitment for. They're located in Lekki, Lagos. So the organization had a budget for their salaries, but couldn't pull through with that at a time, because to the majority of people residing in that within that axis, the amount put out there as the salary wasn't encouraging. However, we also got applications, a lot of people not residing in Lekki, and they were going to carry on to the next stage of the selection process if it would be a hybrid mode of work. So that means they were also considering, let's say, for example, we put out 100,000 naira, and this was what our clients could pay, offer for that particular position. Now, the people living in Lekki, to them, it wasn't attractive enough. But people staying outside of Lekki, most of them applied, but they kept saying that at the end of the month, they may end up going home with little or nothing. Okay, even to some extent, we had to ask some other people, how do you plan to commute to this place since you are staying outside of Lekki? And one of them mentioned that she was going to use a ferry. Now, that was actually a risk. Okay, it was a risk. The person going to use a ferry, do we even know if she knows how to swim? Why do we want to expose her to always being on a ferry to work 5 days a week and the rest? So this made us to recommend flexible work models that helped most business owners, employers, and employees achieve their outlined goals, putting into consideration these candidates and existing employees' concerns. And it also helped us come up with strategies to achieve these organizations' goals. Now, it's important that we try to make the work a lot more flexible for the employees, not just for the employees, also for the employers, because we need them to focus. We need them to bring in that value that they need to add to the organization to grow. Now, in the regard of the economic benefits, businesses were really hit hard. I mentioned that earlier, especially after the fuel subsidy and other things, and then the standard of living, transportation, everything went high. So most organizations either increased their salaries, added what you could say is subsidy bonuses, but for some SME clients that couldn't go beyond their budget, we had to recommend that they make the work model a lot more flexible, like I stated earlier, so that some people will come into the office in some days and work from home some days. So we didn't end at that. We put in place a daily, stroke weekly, or monthly performance tracker to monitor employees' performances. And we had them invest the resources into process automation and digitization as well. We also helped them by doing this to save costs, and also trained the employees on how to use these digital work tools, digital work collaboration tools, on how other industries can plan for the coming year 2024. Now, as HR professionals, we understand that the HRO has evolved from mere administrative duties to becoming HR business partners. So this means that we are professionally aligning the organization's whole strategy with the organization business needs. So we must adopt a strategic approach, especially both meticulous planning and effective implementation. Of course, we know the saying that goes, when we fail to plan, that means we're also planning to fail. But if, as an organization, you already have a plan mapped out for the coming year, that's awesome. And I would encourage such organization to keep at it and ensure that it aligns with the organization's goals and objectives. But if not, we still have the opportunity to do that. And that is why we're having this conversation today. So these plans should be tailor made for your organization and also the line of business. Now, I'll still go back to work models. These are the things you should also consider when you're planning the year 2024 as an HR or as an organization at large. So we are likely to continue with either remote or hybrid work models. You had other speakers say that these things are not going out anytime soon. They're here to stay. And before you know it, they keep improving. We keep improving on these things, and you find out that we could make work a lot more flexible for employees. So we're allowing them to work remotely or both in the office and at home. So this requires a focus on flexible policies. So there has to be a policy to back the work models that you like to use up. And we're also talking about digital collaboration tools and maintaining a sense of connection among the distributed team. So making work a bit flexible for your employees, especially in the present day economy, would mean taking into consideration things happening around them. That is, we're also talking about empathy in leadership here, and you're considering the travel time to work, especially if their role does not necessarily need them to be in the office every day or all the time. So it could also serve as a cost-effective strategy for organizations that are financially restricted, especially for startups and SMEs. So it's important that, still talking about the work models, that organization plan to invest in technology that facilitate remote collaboration and enhance the digital workplace experience. Now, another point would be on technology adoption. It's important to embrace emerging technologies like automation of processes and data analytics to streamline HR processes and improve decision making. You agree with me that this increases productivity and better resource allocation. So by automating these simple but tedious processes, the HR departments can spend time on more complex tasks. Employees can also spend less time on the HR processes, such as requesting for their leaves and making requisitions for work tools and the rest. Now, organizations and HR leaders may also want to, plan around employee well-being. We're talking about the mental health, employees'
Of
mental
all the
health,
SMEs in Nigeria, we have
and
discovered that only about
work-life
25% of
balance.
them can afford.
Can you hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I started hearing adverts, so I
Sorry,
thought,
I think there was a video that played in the background.
okay, all right. Thank you. So it's important to know that only when we implement initiatives that support the overall health and happiness of employees, only then will organizations get most of them going over and beyond for the organizations to do things. We've talked about still the flexible work arrangement. It has a way to contributing to a healthier work-life balance. Now, still talking about employee well-being, organizations should improve on background checks. If as an organization you're not doing this, I'm talking generally, if organizations are not doing this, it's important they incorporate it into their HR and recruitment activities in the year 2024. Why? Because you want to be sure of who you're letting into the organization. That's number one. Number two, you want to be sure of the kind of person you are exposing the existing employees, existing staff to. So when you consider the employee's well-being, it can also lead to increased resilience, better employee engagement, reduced sickness, absenteeism. We're talking about higher performance and productivity, reaching higher customer engagement, profitability with lower turnover. We're trying to reduce turnover, right? We want people to come in, work for us, and the more people stay, the more loyal they get to the organization. Now, continuous learning and development is key. It's important to prioritize employee training and development to keep skills relevant in a rapidly changing business environment where we are today. So employees are the greatest assets. We already know that organizations have. So hence, they should be the first to upgrade in skills as they are the key players in the resources organizations may have. Now, it's important that organizations also plan and consider investing in digital learning platforms and personalized learning experience. That way, you find out, you see your human resources growing, upskilling, same way the organization is also growing as well. Then another one is the agile leadership. It's important to foster agile leadership and organizational structures to respond effectively to changes and uncertainties in the organization. So we need to keep emphasizing on the need for having an open mind and also embracing what we call the Kaizen, that's always trying to improve. The Kaizen means improving all the time in what you're doing. You're not expected to remain at a place for a long time. So you should constantly improve. Now, talking about the agile leadership, organizations should also work on encouraging a culture of adaptability and innovation. But the HR also has a major role to play in helping employees transition into any change happening. So if you're getting any HRIS, that's the Human Resources Information System, a new one, something is new. So these employees need to learn and understand how to navigate their way through the ATS or the HRIS that you are bringing. So it's important that the HR prepares their mind and be willing to take them through the process of adapting to this change. So as an HR, you want to remain agile and flexible as well. And we have the employee engagement and feedback. It's important to implement regular feedback mechanisms to understand employees' sentiments and concerns. And this could be achieved through one on one conversations, employee surveys, suggestion boxes. I mean, suggestion boxes might be outdated now. People are going digital, so you might want to come up with forms that may not reveal the person's identity so that they could let you know how they feel or an organization they want to see in 2024. So you have to be sure that employees understand and are also in sync with the activities, present activities in the organization and future activities. And it may be time to review the organization's salary structure or improve on existing employee benefits. Now, it's important to also develop strategies to enhance employee engagement and foster a positive work culture. Talking about health and safety, it's important to stay informed, yes, about the latest trend and developments in the industry. You want to make sure that everyone is safe, health-wise, around the office, or even using the office systems, even in the comfort of their homes. You want to make sure that all of them are abiding to the policies or lay down rules. Make sure they are safe and the rest. So this is very important. These points I've mentioned are very important. There are so many other points actually, but these are the ones that are key to me. And even in the various organizations, it's important to have continuous learning and also learn about the latest trends and developments in various industries and locations, as this can significantly impact HR and business strategies. So additionally, I would say that HRs and organizations should also tailor their plans to the specific needs and goals of their organization. That organization A have a different strategy and plan for themselves does not mean that organization B should do the same thing when they are not in the same industry and field. So there has to be a lot of homework. What will work for our organization? And how are they going to get this? How are they going to get information? Today is the 1st of December, 2023, and we're in the last month of the year 2023. This is a good time to, set up surveys, conduct employee surveys, hear from them. What are they seeing out there with other organizations that they want to see in their present organization, year 2024? They are stakeholders as well. Bring them together. What strategies does management have? Look at what employees are saying, marry both, and then you'll be able to come up with something tailor made for your organization. Thank you, Wally.
Thank you so much. It's really quite insightful. You mentioned a number of, you spoke about how empathy, certain organizations need to change their flexibility. You mentioned a number of, that was actually quite insightful. Going to move to the next question. So trying to figure out, right, this event is change because of how flexible things. Future, it certainly comes with different demands and trends. What will organizations use? And this upskilling, employee upskilling, like Ijoma rightfully said, growing employees, bringing out the best in them, basically. How to train and upskill existing employees to meet the changing expectations while sustaining product.
All right. Thank you for that. You can still hear me clearly, right? Okay. So now, Ijoma said quite a lot of very interesting things that speak to.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yes, thank you. Things that speak to productivity, things that speaks to how we respond to these things that are occurring in the industry, and to make it sustainable, and things that speak to how the organization and even the employees interact with each other in a responsible manner, that the organization is not suffering and the employee does not feel like they are laboring in vain. And all of this leads to quite a lot of transparent handshake between both parties. Now, because on the basis of the question that you just asked, organizations have to, and Ijoma has mentioned this earlier as well, has to adopt technology that brings employees' productivity to the desired level that they want it to be, and also the level of engagement that they need to have with those employees. And those tools are very important. Take, for example, for upskilling employees, they need to adopt a learning management system, for example. And that learning management system will already consist of materials that speaks to each employee's job description, duties, how to effectively deliver on that. And the same material, the learning management system, would also be able to give leadership visibility into how employees are using that technology to upskill before you start expecting certain level of output from those employees. For example, it has been said that you do not expect someone to deliver something to you if you have not clearly communicated your expectations to that person. So in terms of productivity, employees, do they know their KPIs? Do they know what they're supposed to be delivering on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, way ahead of whatever quarterly appraisal period that comes up, for them to know whether they are at par with their job descriptions, with the reason why they were hired in the first place. And then apart from using an LMS to track that, you could also use a tool like a customer relationship management system to use to track the unique productivity of those employees. Now, we know that a CRM typically helps you to manage your customers, right? But then at the same time, it also helps you to see how your employees are responding, especially the ones that are customer facing, how they are responding to those customers. Are they breaching the SLA system? Because there's a response time that they're supposed to have for each customer that they engage with, depending on the nature of the customer. Now, if the customers are the kind that you cannot track from a CRM solution, for example, then you need to have in-house tools for tracking that. And one of those tools is an HR tool that can help you to track that, the performance. That helps you to let the employees determine, okay, for this given time period, this is the expectations from me, and this is how I am meeting them. And then everyone is agreed on that. And way before it is time to do that appraisal, everyone can go into the system and see where they are in that journey and what is left to complete to ensure that they meet up, right? And then on top of that, there is also the need for organizations to ensure that the adoption rate of these tools is not just a tool that you buy and drop. You have to use it. Your employees have to be very versatile with it, to the point where they literally can teach you how to use the tool. When employees get to that point of adoption, where they use where a tool of productivity, a productivity tool is used to the point where they can teach you how to use it, then you know that you are at a master's level when it comes to adoption. And that can significantly impact on your productive expectations from those employees, right? So you need to have a digital transformation agenda that drives your productive workplace, that drives your expectations that you have, and that your employees are aligned to your corporate goals. Now, when it comes to on the side where employees start feeling like, okay, I'm not getting enough remuneration for the work that I do, in that same tool can be a communication model, maybe a chat model, or a team bonding model, or a gamification model, or an announcement model, where you are constantly engaging your employees to ensure that they know the state of the organization, and they too in turn can empathize with the financial posture of the company. In fact, they will even be the one that will be driving the economies for you to ensure that there is no waste in the company, in the organization. All right, thank you for that. So that's my contribution.
Hello?
Yes, loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, there seems to be something wrong with it. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mr. James. That was very good. I just want to pick on one of the he mentioned certain tools to help adapt change. So I'll just use this as an opportunity to guys the company here today. My salary is a free HR software. Software essentially gives HR managers, owners, CEOs, a simple to use with tons of features that simplify everything HR and administrative. It comes with recruitment tools like recruitments, a tool that helps streamline the entire onboarding recruitment staff search to onboarding. It has both a talent as well as a job pool and a recruitment tool. It is big or small to get the best candidates based on the area of what they're looking for. Also, easy process for HR managers by automating certain tasks. For instance, what comes to top of mind is job description. It generates based on whatever it is you're searching for. It has a ton of other features like attendance. It has attendance management model. It has a payments feature, actually, within which you have other payments, allowances, bonuses, tax and pension, and it calculates automatically for each HR manager and essentially makes life easier, work, reduces error to the barest minimum. It makes HR life much easier, much simpler. And it's a tool that has grown. It's my salary currently has customers that use it. We've had over 1,000 people use it over the past 2 years. 1,000 over the past 2 years. years. And it also has the employee section, employee self-service, and there's the chats and announcements to help internal communication, improves internal communication. Of companies have situations where all they can do is talk to through things like emails, like WhatsApp, where it's actually the tool for other people, and a lot of messages gets missing in voice, right? So chats and announcements feature on my salary actually help that problem, by creating a system where groups they can chat with each other, share knowledge, share information, and creates this synergy in work. Financial services like salary on demand, salary advance, and employee loans, and also has a system where and pay over time. So that and a number, it has a features that makes it pretty much a perfect tool. Is that it's scalable regardless of the size of the company. So it could be a company with 30 staff, 10 staff, or three. It's one of the key things that we try to I try to speak the gospel of, managers have benefited from thus far, and it's fantastic if you could also check it out. Now, if you check my associates would have posted the link, the sign up link. Please go there, check out the websites, and learn more about it. Sign up within a short period of time. We're actually graduating to the close of opening up the question and answer session. Just a quick question and answer session for
acquisition of digital tools for managing their businesses. These digital tools, unfortunately, are dollar denominated, and the cost of the naira and US dollar is not helping. To this end, many SMEs have found themselves struggling to optimize profit, and that is why we built My Salary. My Salary is a free human resource management platform that is easy to use, and it's very simple and automates all your human resource processes. My Salary is loaded with many features: payroll management, tax and pension, attendance management, leave management, cash and tools requisition, time tracking, and employee loans. Not to mention wallets and so many other features that we're rolling out. We have helped over 500 businesses succeed by reducing costs in the last 2 years. Here are some of the things our clients have to say about us. I know you have questions, and we have some answers to these questions.
My Salary costs nothing for installation or subscription. We make money by sharing transfer charges with our third-party payment partners. Therefore, for you to enjoy My Salary for free, we insist that you use our payroll model to pay salaries of your employees.
With My Salary, you are assured of utmost security. My Salary is NDPR and GDPR compliant. We invest heavily in security with our time and money to prevent hacks and breaches. You will never lose a letter or number in data, nor a kobo. We have never lost any.
You only need to sign up, upload staff information, and complete a billing setup. Subsequently, payroll becomes fun for you in just 4 clicks. My Salary is only available if you complete payroll on a monthly basis.
Our third-party payment partners charge you a token amount, which is about what you pay for bank transfers. In all, you have an entire HR software for a transfer fee. Quite exciting.
My Salary may seem less of a bigger brand at the moment, but that's why we are bent to not break your bank. Sign up on My Salary today. Of all the SMEs in Nigeria, we have the
okay, thank Thank you very much. Thank you. So, question: how can the cost of living crisis for employees and promote financial awareness? I think this question is related to how the country currently is of living crisis, how expensive pretty much everything from food to house rents affecting employees. Someone wants to know how leaders can address the cost of living crisis for employees. This is let me ask Ijoma.
Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, Wale?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Now, we
I can hear
mentioned,
you. Please go ahead.
yeah, so we mentioned earlier while I was speaking that empathy in leadership comes to play, and various ways which this empathy can be shown is the first one is making the work schedule flexible. That could be the first approach. And then if the organization can afford it, organizations have budgets. Some organizations may not want to overshoot their budget so they don't get stranded or, at the worst, fold and pack up and the rest. Now, there are other ways that they can handle this by either supporting employees with their transport, not paying completely the same thing, but if the organization can afford it, why not? Pay completely for them or take care of a certain percentage. We have a client that immediately the subsidy happened, they had to include, you know, a specific amount of money across board, irrespective of your level in the organization. So, as the year is coming to an end, another way would be welfare, organizations supporting their employees by either giving them, bags of rice or providing a little more things for them to add to what they already have, so that they won't feel the harshness of the economy, so on. And yes, from time to time, reach out to them, like give them what do you call it? Um, Kind of talk to them because a whole lot of people are going into depression. Now, the role of the HR here is to look at people, speak to them, know what they're passing through, and talk them out of whatever situation that they're passing through, and also see how the organization can help. So, by saying that, I mean that we should also try to set aside money, funds for employee welfare so that they won't feel the harshness of the economy.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. We have other comments. And companies help to create a positive atmosphere. I think this has to do with culture. How can companies create a culture for its employees? I think I'll give this to.
Okay, so a positive culture is very, very important in the workplace because if it is not there, your people will work and they will work like slaves. One of the very important things.
Hello.
Oh, absolutely, I can hear you clearly. One of the very important things to take care of is perception. In perception management, you have to let your employees know that you care. And there are different ways to actually communicate this so that employees know it's not just to say, hey, we care about you, we say it with our mouth, but there is a way our attitude, our body language, our posture, even some of the from the security to the front desk to the operational staff to remote staff to every stakeholder in the business will know that you actually care about your workforce. One, listening ear, open door policy, and empathy, like we said. Many organizations don't have the ability for employees above their supervisors to be able to reach even higher level managers to be able to bear out their hearts. I know of a tier one organization that has a policy that they call complete candor, meaning that everyone can speak up without fear of punishment, without fear of retaliation, either retaliation from their own immediate direct managers or retaliation from other sources. Another way to also make an environment have positive work culture is to put that communication model all over the place. That information has to be everywhere. That in this place we are about this, 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 this. These are our values. You put it in there. You do when you do team bonding sessions, you let that come across as well. You let your staff know what's our mantra, what are the things that we believe in this place, and you actually leave those things. Now, when employees have personal issues, do they have is HR's door open for them to hear, or are they afraid that if they tell HR it will only get worse? Now, there are other scenarios that play out where at the end of the day you need to make sure that the champions of a positive work environment are actually doing their work, and that's the leaders, starting from the head of the department, the supervisors, to the managers and senior managers. These people are the champions. Now, the MD does not have to come down from the temple to come and do this. The MD can, in turn, keep a pulse to know that this positive work culture that we are driving, that my people, my leaders under me, are actually pushing it. They're actually driving it as well. Then another way is to collect feedback, like IJ mentioned earlier on, to collect feedback without you knowing who that feedback is coming from, where people can speak up sincerely. Now, that we will have scenarios of employees that when they resign from the job, you want to interview them and know why are you resigning. It has already been said that the reason why people leave certain organizations is not because they want to leave the organization. They are leaving the people that they work with. They are leaving their managers. They are leaving the person that they report to. So you want to collect that feedback so that that trend, because it can be like a cancer that exists in the organization and will continue to exist across other employees that exist that come into the organization. Even the ones that come in happy can leave sad. So we need to find out what those behaviors are, those bad behaviors that are not allowing positive work culture to be seen and felt by the employees, and address it. And we cannot do that if we are not communicating, if we are not collecting feedback, if we are not letting them know that we care. And the ways that we show that we care are numerous. There are numerous ways that we can show that I don't want to go into right now. Apart from team bonding sessions, TGIF parties, there can be one-on-one interview sessions as well. So that's that from me.
You mentioned was basically creating. Sorry. Okay. So I think a core thing you mentioned was with certain programs, right? Certain incentives like team bondings. I think I can also speak is that's a fantastic thing to do. Also add an actual level of concern from the managers, like you rightly said. So in my experience, sometimes human beings have spent a long time with other human beings, so we've learned each other. So sometimes we can be genuine or sincere. So I think there should also be genuine concern from to create that environment, and by that I mean also creating these incentives, creating this, also actively participating in it, showing interest, showing for actual employees on a personal to play. And I completely agree with you. Thank you so much. Actually 7 minutes over our time, more than worth it. I think we've all learned one or two things. I personally have both operations perspective and even the employee perspective. I think if anyone has created certain shift So I think today fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope to have you again sometime
Thank you.
soon where we discuss something different. So we tend to have these types of events. Goal is to educate um, professionals across different achieve is that for anyone who follows my salary, that you are not just the best at it. So that's our goal. That people within the HR sector grow. It's content like what we're doing right now, webinars, events, and with the tools that. So it's thank you once more. Thank you once again. You.
Thank you.
Hi, Joma. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes, I can hear you, Wale.
Yeah.
Thank
Do you have
you.
any final words?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's the end of the year, and
Before we call it a day.
yes. So I'd like to state this. Having a plan put in place without implementation is just as good as having something written in a book and it's not made live. So, in all our plans, we should also try as much as we can to implement those plans. Only that way we'll be able to measure to know if there are areas that we need to change or move things around for other years in other years to come. So I would say implement, 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 and also upskill. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was actually very important. That was very, very important. Yes. There's no point planning if you're not execute and implement. James, do you have any final?
Yeah, for me, I'll say that let's treat our employees the same way we treat our cars, with care, listening to them. Every sound, every breathing of that car, we pay attention to it. The slightest indication of any issue, we want to address it. So we should treat our employees like that. They are very important to us. And like our cars, if we are not paying attention, we're going to end up stranded on the Third Mainland Bridge or in some backwaters in the bush somewhere. And we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. Thank you so much. So we've come the end. We are well over 11. Like I said, I think everyone would have benefited a lot from everything. I think we're all in a better position now to. I personally am because it's something I'm doing on a personal level. So I hope we all take today and implement them and use them for both our company and our employees. Thank you so much, every one of you. Thank you for the comments as well. Certain comments, certain audience. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Take charge of your HR process with my salary. Payroll automation, leave management, tax and pension remittance, time tracking, and productivity improvement just got way easier with my salary. Guess what? You get to do all this and more for free. Embrace a new world of work. Visit www.mysalary.com to sign up and onboard your employees. Do more with my salary. Get started today. HR process with my salary. payroll automation, leave management, tax and pension remittance, time tracking, and productivity improvement just got way easier with My Salary. Guess what? You get to do all this and more for free. Embrace a new world of work. Visit www.mysalary.com to sign up and onboard your employees. Do more with My Salary. Get started today.
Of all the SMEs in Nigeria, we have discovered that only about 23% of them can afford the cost of acquisition of digital tools for managing their businesses. These digital tools, unfortunately, are dollar denominated, and the cost of the naira and US dollar is not helping. To this end, many SMEs have found themselves struggling to optimize profit, and that is why we built My Salary. My Salary is a free human resource management platform that is easy to use, and it's very simple and automates all your human resource processes. My Salary is loaded with many features: payroll management, tax and pension, attendance management, leave management, cash and tools requisition, time tracking, and employee loans. Not to mention wallets and so many other features that we're rolling out. We have helped over 500 businesses succeed by reducing costs in the last 2 years. Here are some of the things our clients have to say about us. I know you have questions, and we have some answers to these questions.
My Salary costs nothing for installation or subscription. We make money by sharing transfer charges with our third-party payment partners. Therefore, for you to enjoy My Salary for free, we insist that you use our payroll model to pay salaries of your employees.
With My Salary, you are assured of utmost security. My Salary is NDPR and GDPR compliant. We invest heavily in security with our time and money to prevent hacks and breaches. You will never lose a letter or number in data, nor a kobo. We have never lost any.
You only need to sign up, upload staff information, and complete a billing setup. Subsequently, payroll becomes fun for you in just 4 clicks. My Salary is only available if you complete payroll on a monthly basis.
Our third-party payment partners charge you a token amount, which is about what you pay for bank transfers. In all, you have an entire HR software for a transfer fee. Quite exciting.
My Salary may seem less of a bigger brand at the moment, but that's why we are bent to not break your bank. Sign up on My Salary today. Of all the SMEs in Nigeria, we have discovered that only about 23% of them can afford the cost of acquisition of digital tools for managing their businesses. These digital tools, unfortunately, are dollar denominated, and the cost of the naira and US dollar is not helping. To this end, many SMEs have found themselves struggling to optimize profit, and that is why we built My Salary. My Salary is a free human resource management platform that is easy to use, and it's very simple and automates all your human resource